Welcome back, everybody. Today's video, we're going to be going through all of my favorites in the month of April. So for my monthly favorites videos, I touch on beauty products that I've been loving, books, and then also I've been starting to add in like some recipes if you are looking for some new inspo in the kitchen. But let's jump off with, let's do some accessories first because I've been really into my accessories. I was gonna say lately, but I feel like I've always been really into my accessories. But I got a new ring, and I don't think I talked about this one in my last video, but I got this chunky ring right here and I love it so much. It's the one on my middle finger. I love this chunky ring. It is from the brand Pavoi. I wear a lot of rings and just jewelry in general from Pavoi, and I like their brand so much. It feels very high quality without being super expensive jewelry, and I've been wearing their pieces for a while now. I've never had any issues with them, but this ring I just think is so pretty. And when I first started wearing it, I started to get a lot of comments and videos of like, what ring is that? And so when I mentioned it, this became one of my top sellers on Amazon. So you can get this on Amazon. If you shop on TikTok Shop, it's also available on TikTok Shop. But I just think it's such like a statement ring without being like too much, because I was hesitant to buy it at first, because if you can see from the other rings, I just have two other stacks on today, and they're pretty like small. I usually use the word dainty when I talk about jewelry that I love. So this one I was like, I don't know if it's gonna be too big, but it's still like that statement piece without being like overwhelming. So I love it. And then another accessory that I've been loving is a pair of sunglasses. It is these ones right here. Oh, they're dirty. Hopefully you can't see that in the viewfinder. These are from Sojos Vision. Sojos Vision is basically the only brand of sunglasses that I wear. I feel like they fit my narrow face so well. Again, you can get these on Amazon. I have a discount code with them. It is SAMANTHASJ that you can use on Amazon. But these glasses I love. I also love my ones that I've been talking about for so long. They have like the big black frames. Love those, but something about just like the classic aviator pair that's still gold, because I wear a lot of gold. My jewelry is typically gold. I just love this, and they make me feel some type of way. These remind me of like one of the like original sunglasses that I fell in love with Sojos Vision, and we were all wearing them last year in Ireland. I thought it was so funny. I absolutely loved that. But these ones, I will link them in my description box if you are interested in picking those up. Let me move over to some affordable beauty products, because man, skin tints have been very popular right now. And I've, especially on my channel, I've been talking about 4 skin tints in particular: Makeup Forever, Milk Makeup, Colourpop, and also Milani. And honestly, out of the 4, I think they're all great. I don't think that you can make a wrong decision if there's any that you want, if there's a brand that you're like more particularly loyal to. If you've heard me describe one as like you get a little bit more coverage, or this one's more matte, like I don't think you can go wrong with any of the 4. But honestly, my 2 favorites are the more affordable options. We have the Milani Conceal and Perfect Blur Out Skin Tint Stick, and from Colourpop, their Pretty Fresh Tinted Foundation Balm. I am so impressed with these. At first, I thought I was gonna like the Milani a little bit more than the Colourpop, and then somehow Colourpop swooped in, and I actually like the Colourpop a little bit more. So that to me has been very interesting. But I do like, they're both in the stick form, which I think is great. I think that these are very easy to travel with, to throw into a makeup bag. At this time this video is going up, I've been gone for like quite some time now. I'm currently, as you're watching, I'm in the state of Florida for 2 different trips back to back. And both of these will be coming in my travel makeup bag with me for sure. The one from Milani is going to be more of a soft matte finish. So if that is something that you gravitate towards, I would recommend the one from Milani. And I use the shade Light Medium 7. The one from Colourpop, this one to me is a little bit more of a hydrating foundation stick. And this one I use the shade Light 8. But this to me still leaves a very natural finish, yet when I first apply it, it definitely feels like more slippery than the one from Milani. The one from Milani, I feel like you just really don't have to use a lot of product, and it blends in so quickly to my skin. I feel like with the Milani, it's one that I can just kind of blend out with my fingers and it'll be fine. The one from Colourpop, I typically do like to use a brush or a sponge, typically a brush with this one, because they are both more of a lighter coverage. But for me, the Colourpop, like I said, a little bit more on just that natural side, versus the Milani is going to lean more matte. I do think both of these are pretty long wearing. They're not the most long wearing foundation or skin tint that I've ever tried, but I do still think they have a good wear time for being a skin tint, and for warmer weather months. And if you are someone like me and you go for a little bit lighter coverage during this time, these are both great options, and I love that they're the more affordable ones. And then along those lines, also from Milani, I have been raving about this powder. Listen, I am a powder girly, I know that, but this powder, the Conceal and Perfect, once again from Milani, is like, I'm blown away with how good this is. So I also like the component here because you like pull this up and then you have the netting, so it's not just like all the powder at one time is coming out at you, because I think that's very overwhelming. So I'm a fan of the packaging for sure, because there are some that I'm definitely not a fan of, but it's the powder I have on today. I've been using it in a lot of my get ready with me video. This is definitely going in my travel makeup bag, but it just blurs out the skin so nice. I hate, sometimes I feel like I say the same words, but like when you're talking about makeup products, you kind of like say the same thing, right? But I feel like it kind of puts that filter on your skin. It just blurs everything out, smooths everything out. It helps, you know, lock my makeup in place. I've never had any issues with my makeup, you know, moving around or just straight up disappearing or anything like that. I feel like my skin looks so good at the end of the day every time that I wear the Milani powder. I've been so impressed with it. I've worn it with the Milani, the Colourpop, the Milk, the just concealers, the Makeup Forever. That powder is legit. And then not necessarily just one product in general that I want to talk about, but brown mascara just as a whole, I have been a fan of, and I've tried a couple. I actually used up the one from Physicians Formula, their Butter Bronzer Mascara. One that I have on today that really needs to go into my empties bin. This is from Loreal, their Lash Paradise. Brown mascara, it started trending and I was like, okay, and obviously brown mascara isn't, you know, a new thing by any means, but it started to trend. And I was like, you know, I just don't think I would really be into brown mascara because I have very basic lashes and I want them to look longer, fuller, darker, all those things. And I just feel like black mascara gravitates more towards that. And also what I was hearing people talk about with brown mascara is they're like, oh, this is good for people who like no makeup because it is more of a natural look. And it's like, as someone who doesn't have, you know, lash extensions or wear false lashes, like I actually don't want my lashes to look natural. Like I want them to look unnatural with my mascara, but it's really hard to find in mascaras unless you find those good ones, you know. But I do have to say I'm kind of like eating my words a little bit because while sometimes I still don't think I get that full like va-voom effect with a brown mascara, still, you know, there's good, like the Lash Paradise, I like this in the black version as well. The Physicians Formula is a good one too. I've been trying out the YSL Lash Crash. That was in one of my get ready with me's and I used the brown version. I still think you can get the lashes longer and fuller, even though they're not as dark as a black mascara formula. I get what people are saying of like, it's natural, but with an oomph. And I really do like that. So I'm surprised. I'm here to say that I am a fan of brown mascara. I've been wearing it more and more. The last couple of months in my Shop My Stash bag, I've typically been doing one black mascara and one brown mascara, and I'm a fan. So I would love to know, are you a fan of brown mascara, colored mascara, or do you stick with black? Or do you not wear mascara? So many questions. And then speaking of mascara, I do have one that I was trying out recently that I'm a big fan of this one. This is from Makeup by Mario. So I bought this right before the sale. I did 2 Sephora hauls, one before the sale started so I could test out some makeup like this mascara, and then one during the sale when I actually got my discount. But I am a big fan of this one from Makeup by Mario. Just like what I said, makes the lashes fuller, darker, longer, all those great things. I don't have any transfer when I wear this, and I've worn it for several hours. I've worn it in more humid conditions when I went on a couple of California trips. I've worn it like all day. I haven't had any issues. And my biggest thing with mascara is I don't want it to transfer or smudge on me. This one does not. I've been a big fan of this one for Makeup by Mario. And it was one of those that it was like the first time I tried it, I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna like this mascara. And then as I kept using it, I was like, oh, heck yes. So that was a big one that I recommended in the sale. Hopefully you were able to pick it up. But if you're looking for a good mascara, I definitely recommend that one. Of course, a favorite through the month of April was my collaboration that I launched with not only Ofra Cosmetics, but 2 of my best friends. So if you did not see the news, I came out with a new lip gloss collaboration. This is with Ofra Cosmetics, but this one is very special to me because I also teamed up with 2 of my best friends who aren't really online or in the beauty community. I wanted to bring them in on the collab and let them experience it and kind of show the continuation of my story from the last collaboration that I did. I have a whole YouTube video where I speak more about it and the process and why we chose the names that we did and everything that went into it. And then I do also do a get ready with me with my friend Ashley, and she talks about the process of not realizing how hard it would be to get a lip gloss shade figured out. But she was able to learn over the past several months of what it goes into doing a collaboration. But Thank you all so much for the love that you have shown the glosses. This collection is called For the Plot, and the shade names are Next, Chapter, and Fam. Chapter is the one that I was working on, Next is for Katie, and Fam is for Ashley. And it's just been such a nice month, a nice few weeks of getting the feedback and seeing you now. People are getting their glosses and making reels with them and sharing photos of them, and it just makes me so excited, and I appreciate it so much. Anytime that you put your name on something and you put a lot of time, energy, and effort into something that you love, you really hope other people will love it too. And especially bringing in my friends who are not on social media, I was kind of scared about it at first because the internet can be very intense sometimes, and I didn't want to put them under any like unnecessary scrutiny if they didn't need to be. But they've had a really fun time seeing everything happen and how it all went down, and we're all just really grateful for it, and that we were able to get an experience that the three of us could do together. So thank you all for your support. The collection is still available. My 3 other glosses that I've done, my palette with them, my bronzer and blushes and highlights, all of those are still available on the Ofra Cosmetics website, and if you're shopping, you can use my code Samantha to save. A couple of fragrances that I wanted to mention that I have been loving. Okay, of course, if you've been watching the last few of my videos, Phlur Vanilla Smoke. I have been loving this one so much. This is like, I have 2 fragrances that I'm gonna mention, and they're very different from one another. This is like my typical fragrance. I lean more masculine, more woody, more smoky, and that's what this one is. To me, I don't really get a lot of like vanilla in here. It's like mostly like on the smoky side. It reminds me of like Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille, but I love the plastic packaging. It makes it very easy to travel with, so I love that. And it's a hair and fragrance mist, and honestly, I don't really know why that's different than just like an woody perfume. I'm not a fragrance girly, so I don't really know the differences there. But I take this and just spray it all over me, and I think that it's fabulous, especially as a night scent, a date night, anything like that. So, so good. So I highly recommend that one. And then this to me is a surprising one. I had this in a Get Ready With Me recently. I tried to remember in Get Ready With Me videos to do a fragrance at the end. But again, not being a fragrance girly, sometimes it's hard for me to remember. But I got this in a recent PR haul. It's from Replica. It's their Never Ending Summer. And holy bananas, did I not I did not think I was going to fall in love with this one. I did not think so, because it's more fruity. It's so funny because when I was trying it, I could not think of the term Aperol Spritz. It smells like a spritz, like a, what's it called? Oh my gosh. I literally I just had one the other night. It was a mocktail, but it still said spritz. What am I trying to say? What is the drink? Anyways, it smells like that kind of spritz. The orange. I was like, it's like a spritz of something. It's orange. I just have this drink. What is it? Aperol Spritz is what I was going for. But I can definitely smell orange, but it's like a seductive orange. I don't know if anyone has ever described an orange as seductive, but that's what we did in today's video. But this seductive orange scent is like, to me, it's great for daytime. It's great for like the warm weather, the summer, the vacation vibes, but it's got a little edge to it at the same time, which I think that's what it's gravitating me towards it. That's what I'm liking, because there's almost like a little musk, a little something in there that I'm like, ooh, okay. Do you see my handshake right there? It's 3:30 and I haven't eaten yet today besides 2 dates and a glass of tea. So there's that, But this one from Replica, it's their newest fragrance. This is one that like, I'm glad that I got in PR because I wouldn't have bought it myself. But now that I'm trying it, I'm like, oh, I want to wear this every day. Actually, I just know my friends are going to be like, Samantha, you smell like a seductive orange when I go over there tonight. A couple more beauty products that I wanted to mention. I really have to give this palette a shout out. I talked about it in my Shop My Stash video because it was in my bag for March. So I reviewed it for April. But man, have I been a fan of this one from YSL. This is one of their Couture Mini Clutch Quads. And my shade is in like Kasblah Spices or something along those lines. It's the most basic quad. I got this in PR and I opened it and I was like, I love it. And then I was like, you're gonna get made fun of because you love a very neutral, basic palette, but I don't care. And then I finally put it into my bag and I was like, don't sleep on the YSL eyeshadows, okay? It's not a brand I really hear anything about in regards to their eyeshadows, but the matte, there is such a dent in this brown shade over here, that is hysterical to me. But a brown smoky eye is one of my favorite things to do. A neutral eye, one of my favorite things to do. I mean, literally today I have one cream eyeshadow on and some eyeliner, and that is it. But this shimmer shade is just stunning and so easy to use, and it's that like wet looking shimmery sparkle on the eyes that's so pretty. Matte's easy to blend. This quad is just easy to use, easy to travel with. Love the little mirror in here. It's also just so cute, and it just looks like a good time as well. But man, that was like a surprise favorite of mine. But I just had to mention it again in a favorites video, even though I talked highly about it in my Shop My Stash, because it's fantastic. And then another product, I did buy this in the Sephora sale, but I instantly fell in love with this one, and it's what a lot of you were telling me to buy, and that is from Sephora Collection, and it is their matte bronzer. I have the shade 01. I know I've talked about this in recent videos as well, but again, just wanted to include it in a favorites because it's so pretty. I have it on today. I think that it's a beautiful bronzer. It's very natural. It's very easy to blend. I don't know why I was sleeping on this. I feel like the Sephora Collection is kind of slept on just regardless, but don't know why I was sleeping on this one. It's a fantastic bronzer. If you're looking for a good one, the Sam Squad recommends this one. Now the Sam recommends this one. I recommend this one as well. It is fantastic. All right, so those are all of the beauty products that I wanted to mention. And then normally I do put books in here, but I'm not gonna lie, April was not a great reading month for me. I actually gave a book a 1.5 star review, which is very rare for me. I typically don't rate books lower than a 2, but wow, I just really was struggling with that one. But if you do want to see some more book reviews, including some more positive book reviews, I do have a second YouTube channel where I do videos on books, on healthy habits, inspired living, and that sort of thing. And I did a video recently ranking the last 13 books, I believe it was, the last 13 books that I had read, and there's a lot of 5-star books in there, so I would definitely recommend checking out that channel in general, but that video if you want to see some book recommendations. And then lastly, I'm just going to finish it up talking about 2 recipes that I've been really loving recently. One is dessert, one is dinner. But I try to talk about my recipes because, especially since getting my PCOS diagnosis, I've definitely put a focus into making more recipes at home, some that are like hormone friendly and all of those things. And honestly, it's just kind of fun for me. It's a different way. Like, as someone who used to say she was an undomestic goddess and thought anything in the kitchen was super difficult. Not that I still think like things are really easy now, but it's just a way to try new recipes, try new things, see what works for me, see what I love. And this dessert, I was a big fan of, and it's literally so easy. So I always talk about date desserts. I don't think I mentioned the banana one in my last one. I didn't think so. Because my March video, my favorites, I actually posted mostly Amazon related ones because it was around the sale. So I don't think I did desserts in there. But I post recipes on that second channel as well. So I especially do like short form videos, and I share the recipes that I'm making. So this dessert, I love to make desserts with dates. I do like dates, almond butter, melted chocolate, peanuts, and this is kind of similar to that, except I use bananas. So I just sliced up bananas, and then I put almond butter on them and melted chocolate. I melt down chocolate with coconut oil and then put it on top. That's literally it. It's so simple. It's so easy to do. You put them in the freezer, everything gets cold, and then that's it. And then I can just go into the freezer and have 1 or 2. And truly, usually 1 is just fine for me. Sometimes I want 2, but that's it. Versus the other night, I was eating ice cream from Sorry Not Sorry here. If you've been to Las Vegas and you've been to Sorry Not Sorry, so good. But I got a freaking pint of my favorite campfire s'mores. I have no idea how they make ice cream actually taste like a campfire. It's the most bizarre thing in the world. But I was just eating out of the pint, and I was just, like, stuff like that, I can just mindlessly eat it. Versus something like a better for me snack that I have in the freezer, eat 1 or 2, I'm fine. It's just so nice to be able to have those like at the ready. So when I go through like meal prepping for the week or meal planning, one thing that I typically like to do is have a better for me dessert in the freezer. But also moving over to dinner, sweet potato bowls. I don't know what I was gonna say, but sweet potato bowls were really having a moment for a while. And I did like a hot honey salmon sweet potato bowl, and it was so good. So I just did sweet potatoes. I did some rice in there. I basically got everything from Trader Joe's, which I just feel like they make things so simple. They're 3-minute rice. You just put it in the microwave for 3 minutes. You have rice. Perfection. I just got a sweet potato, just chopped it up. I leave the skin on and everything, just chop it up. Then you got your sweet potato. And then I did salmon. So I just got a salmon fillet from Trader Joe's, sliced that up, put it in the air fryer with like Dijon mustard, paprika, salt and pepper. Super easy to do. Also made the sweet potatoes in the air fryer at the exact same time. So easy. And then I just put like edamame on there. I did avocado. I mean, you can do red onion, whatever vegetables that you want, you can add it to your bowl. And then I drizzled it with hot honey syrup. I forgot to add, I should have put on like pumpkin seeds or something like that, something with like a little crunch. I like to add those on as well. But sweet potato bowls are such an easy thing to do. But in my last video that I posted on my second channel about ways to glow up in summer, I mentioned that I want to keep doing bowls for the spring and summer months, but I want to get away from like the heavier ones and like kind of taking out some of the sweet potatoes or even the rice, not going the lettuce route, but going like chopped like fruits and veggies. I included a video in my video from one of my favorite creators, Gracie Norton, and she was doing like sliced like cucumbers and like pineapple and just other things like that, and then adding her salmon and then adding like some more toppings, and then she was getting like a refreshing and hydrating bowl. And I was like, I know that I'm going to be trying those next. So hopefully in the month of May, you will be seeing that as a favorite, because that is definitely on my list to try. But again, if you want more recipe inspo, you can head over to my second channel because I try to post a lot over there. But I love being able to find recipes that I can make for myself, that I can make for my friends, that are just a little bit better for me, especially because I still eat out a lot. Do not get me wrong. I eat out a lot. So this is my way of being able to find that balance and kind of have more control over what I put into my body. But after that, that is everything. Those are my favorites for the month of April. I'll have them all linked in the description box. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you've been loving in April, and I'll see you in the next one.